everybody, it's Chris, and we are taking a look at question 6 in Module 2 of Digital SAT Practice Test 1. Now keep in mind that the adaptive testing will give you harder or easier modules depending how you perform in the first one. So this is having not answered any of the questions in the first module, which means this is the easier version of what you would see on test day. So if your Module 2 looked different than these problems, well, that's great. That means you did pretty well in the first module, and then you were given a different module. We are going to go through the harder module and go through every question there as well. So just keep that in mind throughout this video series. But now let's take a look at number 6. The expression 24 over 6x plus 42 is equivalent to 4 over x plus b, where b is a constant and x is greater than 0. What is the value of b? So this is actually a pretty tough question for this point in this module, but what we should take away from this is anytime you have an opportunity to potentially simplify something, it's good to go ahead and try to do that. And here, if we look 24 over 6x plus 42, everything does have a common factor. So what number goes into all of those? And if you said 2, that's true. 2 does go into all of them. You could divide by 2, but you'll have to then, divide again after that. If you happen to recognize the greatest common factor, it's 6. 6 can go into 24, 6, and 42 evenly. And when you divide everything by 6, then you're going to have, that's going to be 4 over x plus 7. And now, if they say it's equivalent to 4 over x plus b, all of a sudden these really look very similar. And so hopefully there we can recognize that the 4's are equivalent and the x's are equivalent. And that means that b on this would have to be equivalent to 7. So our correct answer is going to be answer choice A. And again, I know that's an intimidating question at first read, but just keep in mind, whenever you have an opportunity to simplify, if you can simplify even a little bit, go for it. Because you'd be surprised how quickly something that maybe didn't look identical all of a sudden looks very similar after some simplification has taken place. Let's take a look next at question 7. This one's a student-produced response. It says, out of 300 seeds that were planted, 80% sprouted. How many of these seeds sprouted? So they're basically asking for you to figure out what 80% of 300 is. And to convert, when you're multiplying by a percent, you're going to multiply by the decimal form of it. So 80% of means multiply. So you do 80% or 0.80 times 300. And when you do the math on that, it comes out to 240, and that's what you'll enter as your answer choice here. All right, let's keep cruising along. We're going to take a look at number 8. Ty set a goal to walk at least 24 kilometers every day to prepare for a multi-day hike. On a certain day, Ty plans to walk at an average speed of 4 kilometers per hour. What is the minimum number of hours Ty must walk on that day to fulfill the daily goal? So if he wants to walk 24 kilometers, and they tell us here that his average speed is 4 kilometers per hour. So that would be 4 kilometers per hour times however many hours he walks. Let's call that h, just to make the variable match what we're representing. So 4 kilometers per hour times h hours should get him to his total of 24. And if we divide by 4, we get h equals 6. Now, if coming up with that equation is difficult, and sometimes it is because you have a relatively lengthy word problem, it makes it a little challenging, you can also take your answer choices and test those out. So you could also go in the reverse direction and say, all right, let's try A. Maybe he walked for 4 kilometers per hour for 4 hours. Let's see what that would be. And you could even write it out, step by step. In 1 hour, he walks 4. In another hour, he walks 4. In another hour, he walks 4. And so forth and so on. And so you could work your way through this more slowly, but as a fundamental skill, if you can come up with this mathematical equation from the text written, that's going to be really effective, and you'll see that tested on SAT on a variety of questions. So it's a really good thing to know. Now let's take a look at question 9. Another student-produced response. Here it says 6 plus x equals 9. What is the value of 18 plus 3x? Well, probably the most straightforward way to do this is just to solve for x. So if we have 6 plus x equals 9, we can subtract 6 from both sides, canceling that out, and that would give us x equals 3. And then we could plug 3 into this equation. 18 plus 3x would then equal 18 plus 3 times 3, which is 9, which is going to give us 27 as our answer. Now, if you happen to see this in a different way, then that's great, because you could also potentially recognize that 18 plus 3x is actually 3 times as much as 6 plus x. So that's going to be tripling the 6 and tripling the x, which means that if that's equal to 9, you would also triple the 9 and get 27 that way. So if you were able to see it that way, that's just an alternative way of thinking about this question, and it's actually really helpful with developing your foundation in the math skill set that you need for standardized tests and beyond to see if you can think about math problems in different ways. So if you did look at it like that, that's definitely, extra bonus points for you for seeing a little bit outside the box on this question. Let's do one more. We'll take a look at number 10. It says the function f is defined by f of x equals x cubed plus 9. What is the value of f of 2? So basically, whenever you see this setup, whatever goes in this parentheses, whether it's a number or some other variable, you're just going to plug in place of x, anywhere that you see an x. So here, oops, let me rewrite that. But here, if you have f of 2, that's going to be equal to 2 cubed plus 9. 2 to the third power is 8. 8 plus 9 would give us 17 as our correct answer here, which is going to be answer choice C for number 10. Now stay tuned, we're going to be continuing with this module in our next video and diving into